They thought humans were legends. Then their dangerous battleships appeared. The stars stretched endlessly across the black sky, glittering like tiny sparks in a dark ocean. In the vast reaches of space, where few dared to travel, alien ships moved with quiet precision. For centuries, the galaxy had spoken of humans, but no one had seen them. Most thought humans were a story, a legend told to entertain children or frighten young explorers. Old records mentioned them as stubborn, daring, and dangerous, but they were long gone. Gone, that is, until now. Captain Aaron Cole sat in the command room of the human scout ship Horizon, staring at the hollow screen in front of him. The display showed a map of distant star systems, many of which were under alien control. "They think we're gone," he muttered. His voice was calm, almost quiet, but there was a sharp edge to it. "They think humans are a myth. They're about to learn otherwise." Aaron was not young, but he was not old either. His brown hair was streaked with silver at the temples, and his eyes, a deep green, reflected both patience and a lifetime of experience. Beside him, Lieutenant Claire Adams checked the ship systems. She was younger, eager, and smart. "Captain," she said, pointing at the display, "alien fleets are moving near the far systems. They're attacking neutral colonies. No one is stopping them." Aaron nodded slowly. "Good, we watch, we wait, then we act." His words were simple, but they carried a quiet authority. Humans had learned long ago that rushing into battle without planning meant death. Patience was a weapon humans understood better than most. Unlike other species, humans had survived not because of strength alone, but because of cleverness, courage, and an unwillingness to give up. Far away, in the council chambers of the Galactic Alliance, alien leaders spoke with hurried voices. The chambers were vast, circular rooms floating inside a giant space station. Millions of kilometers from any planet, the Council governed the decisions of hundreds of species. Admiral Laura Bennett, a tall reptilian alien with green scales and sharp yellow eyes, slammed her claw on the table. "Reports say humans are returning." "Nonsense," she hissed. "Humans have been extinct for thousands of cycles. There is nothing to fear." Her assistant, a small, blue-skinned alien named Rilo, shook his head. "Admiral, there are signals from the outer border. Unconfirmed, yes, but they match human ship patterns. They are large, too large to be anything else." Laura snorted. "Legends do not move ships. The stories are stories for a reason. Humans are dead. Let the outer colonies handle these small fleets. The Council will not interfere unless necessary." Rilo hesitated. He wanted to warn her, but he knew arguing with Laura could be dangerous. Still, there was unease in the Council. Older species, those who remembered the tales from centuries past, whispered quietly to each other. Some of them remembered humans not as heroes, but as terrifying enemies. When humans fought, they left marks that lasted generations. The galaxy had never seen another species capable of such resilience. Back aboard the Horizon, Aaron and Claire studied the alien movements carefully. "Their scouts are slow," Aaron said. "They have no idea what is coming." He pressed a button, and a hologram of a massive human battleship appeared above the display. It glimmered with silver light, covered in panels that seemed to absorb the stars around it. This was no ordinary ship. It was a symbol. Humans had been building these ships quietly, hidden in remote star systems. The galaxy had never seen anything like them. "They'll never expect it," Claire said, almost in a whisper. She was nervous, yes, but she was also excited. Humans had been underestimated for centuries. That ignorance was their advantage. She studied the map. "The neutral systems are easy targets. The aliens will think they are weak. When we strike, we hit fast and hard, enough to make them notice humans again." Aaron smiled faintly. It was a rare expression for him. "Exactly. We do not attack for glory. We do not attack for revenge. We attack to remind them that humans exist. That's all they need to know for now." In another part of the galaxy, human colonies were quietly preparing for the return of the fleets. On a small mining planet called Eden 5, engineer Jack Brady inspected the construction of a new battleship. Massive engines hummed as they came online, and Jack ran his hand over the cold metal surface. "Humans are back," he said softly. It was not a boast, it was a promise. Beside him, technician Lisa Grant checked the weapon systems. "I still can't believe it," she said. "The council thought humans were gone. We've been here building, hiding, waiting. They have no idea." Jack nodded. "They'll see soon enough. Patience is everything. We strike only when the time is right. One mistake from them, and it's over before they know what hit them." The galaxy, meanwhile, was busy with its own politics. Species fought among themselves for territory, trade routes, and resources. Humans had stayed silent for centuries, letting others squabble while quietly rebuilding their strength. Many believed humans had disappeared because they were weak, but the truth was different. Humans had chosen to hide, to prepare, to become unstoppable. On a distant station orbiting the planet Veridian, alien merchants whispered about human ships. "Did you hear?" said a small merchant with purple skin and 3 eyes. "The humans might be real. Huge ships have been seen near the outer systems." His companion laughed. "You believe old stories. Humans are extinct. These are just rumors, nothing more." But the whispers spread. Fear began to mix with curiosity. What if the stories were true? What if humans really had returned? And if they had returned, what did it mean for the galaxy? Back on the horizon, Aaron stood at the observation deck, staring into the dark. Stars flickered past as the ship moved through hyperspace. He thought about the history of humans. Wars, struggles, discoveries, mistakes. They had survived it all. Other species had dismissed them, laughed at them, and forgotten them. But humans remembered. They remembered the lessons of survival, the cost of mistakes, and the power of unity. Claire joined him quietly. "Captain, do you ever wonder why we were underestimated?" she asked. "Why they never took us seriously?" Aaron didn't answer at first. He let the silence fill the room. Then he said, "Because humans are unpredictable. We survive when others fail. We take risks when others hesitate. And we fight in ways no one expects." He looked down at the star map. "The galaxy thinks humans are a legend. Let them keep thinking that, for now." As the horizon moved closer to the outer systems, alien patrols unknowingly passed nearby. They scanned for ships but saw nothing unusual. The human vessels were hidden, using advanced stealth and clever maneuvers. It was the perfect preparation for what was coming. Humans did not rush into battle. They waited, silently watching, learning, and planning. The galaxy was about to remember them in the most powerful way. At the council chambers, Laura Bennett continued to ignore the warnings. She held meetings with other alien leaders, discussing minor border disputes and trade disagreements. She laughed at rumors of human activity. "Humans are stories, myths, ghosts of the past," she said confidently. "There is no reason to worry." But even as she spoke, older advisors remembered. They remembered the humans who had fought without hesitation, who had survived impossible odds, and who had sometimes disappeared only to return stronger. Some muttered quietly to themselves, unsure if their memories were accurate but uneasy nonetheless. In a small command center aboard the Horizon, Aaron pressed a sequence on the console. Holographic images of human fleets filled the room. Ships of all sizes, from swift scouts to massive battleships, glimmered under artificial lights. "They will not believe their eyes when they see these," he said, "and they will fear what they do not understand." Claire studied the images carefully. "It's amazing," she said. "How did we hide all this for so long?" Aaron's expression remained serious. "Because hiding is easy when no one expects you to exist. The galaxy has forgotten humans. That was our advantage. Now it is time to remind them why they should never forget again." As the Horizon continued its quiet journey, Aaron thought about the coming battles. Humans did not fight to kill without reason. They fought to protect, to survive, and to ensure freedom. Many alien species had grown arrogant, believing they were untouchable. Humans would show them the cost of underestimating a legend, even if that legend had been silent for centuries. The stars moved past endlessly, but time was not on the side of aliens who mocked the human stories. Soon, they would understand that legends can return. And when they do, even the strongest can tremble. And so, the human fleets moved in silence, prepared for the moment when myths would become reality. The galaxy had forgotten them, laughed at them, and written them off. But humans had remembered themselves. They had built, waited, and planned. And the moment of reckoning was coming quietly, like the first whisper of a storm before the sky breaks open. For the first time in millennia, humans were not just stories. They were real. They were dangerous. And they were coming. The horizon moved slowly through the dark reaches of space, leaving only faint traces of light in its path. The human fleet was no longer a single ship, but a small armada, each vessel hidden from alien sensors by advanced stealth technology. Captain Aaron Cole stood at the observation deck, watching the stars pass by, feeling a quiet tension that had nothing to do with fear. Humans were ready, but readiness did not mean impatience. Beside him, Lieutenant Claire Adams studied the holographic display of alien patrol routes. "Captain," she said, pointing to a series of blinking dots, "these fleets are moving closer to the neutral systems. They think no one is watching. They are wrong." Aaron nodded. "Good. Let them think that. It makes their mistakes bigger." The aliens had no idea what was approaching. The Galactic Council had dismissed any talk of human ships as nonsense. Admiral Laura Bennett, confident in her judgment, had redirected patrols to minor border disputes, leaving the outer systems vulnerable. No one expected humans to return. No one, except for those who remembered the stories, feared what was coming. In the alien patrol near the edge of the neutral system called Vera, Commander Thalak scanned the sensors nervously. His 3 eyes flicked across the readings, detecting faint signals that did not match any known ships. "What is this?" he whispered to his second, a smaller alien named Merak. Merak shook his head. "I don't know, maybe it's a malfunction. Sensors sometimes pick up false readings." But Thalak was uneasy. He had fought humans before, centuries ago, and had never forgotten the skill and unpredictability of their attacks. The stories he had heard in the council were only half the truth. Humans were clever, patient, and dangerous when underestimated. He tried to shake off the feeling. "Probably nothing," he muttered. "Report nothing unusual. Do not alarm the fleet." Far from the alien patrols, the human fleet approached the outer system quietly. Massive ships moved in formation, silent and invisible. The fleet was designed to be intimidating, but humans did not want unnecessary bloodshed. Their plan was not to destroy without reason, but to make the galaxy take notice. On the horizon's bridge, Aaron spoke to his officers. "This is where we remind them who we are. We do not fire first unless attacked, but they will see our presence and they will not forget it." Engineer Jack Brady, aboard one of the larger human battleships, checked the weapons systems again. "Everything is ready, Captain," he said. "Stealth shields are full, engines are at maximum efficiency. If they spot us, we can strike or retreat as needed." Aaron smiled faintly. "Good. Humans never attack blindly. Patience and strategy are our greatest weapons." The alien fleets continued their patrols, unaware that humans were watching them. Commander Thalak, still uneasy, had ordered extra scans near the neutral planets, but the human ships were too well hidden. Every movement was calculated, every signal masked. The aliens believed they were alone. Suddenly, a tiny scout ship from the human fleet passed near an alien monitoring station. It did not fire. It did not move aggressively. Yet the scan revealed anomalies that the aliens could not explain. The station's alarms blared. "Intruder detected," one officer shouted, but the readings were inconsistent. The aliens saw nothing visible, only a disturbance in space-time that made their sensors unstable. Back on the horizon, Claire watched the monitors. "They noticed something," she said. "But they don't know what it is. They are confused." Aaron nodded. "Exactly. Let them be confused. Fear starts with uncertainty. We give them uncertainty first, then clarity, and that clarity is humans." Meanwhile, on the neutral system of Vera, colonies were going about their daily lives, unaware of the danger approaching. Farmers harvested strange alien crops, traders moved goods between planets, children played under artificial skies. Humans had no interest in harming these people. Their focus was the alien fleets, the councils, and the species that thought humans were gone. In one small colony, a young girl named Ella watched the stars through her window. She did not know why she felt a strange sense of hope when she looked at the dark sky. Far above her, human ships moved silently, guardians unseen but ready. Aaron's fleet continued to position itself around the neutral system. Ships spread out in a loose formation, hidden in asteroid fields and behind gas clouds. Every angle was covered. Human commanders communicated silently through secure channels, coordinating movements without detection. "Captain," Claire said, pointing to a distant cluster of alien patrols, "they are close to the neutral planets. If they move faster, they will attack before we can intervene." Aaron's eyes narrowed. "Then we act carefully. No unnecessary confrontations. We show our power, but we do not destroy unless forced. Our first message is not fear, it is proof." In another part of space, alien Admiral Laura Bennett received reports of unusual sensor activity. "There are anomalies near Vera," a junior officer reported. "We cannot identify them." Laura frowned. "Check again and again. Do not waste my time with ghosts. Humans are extinct. Nothing exists out there that can threaten us. Focus on the fleets near the trade routes." Still, Laura could not shake a feeling of unease. Older advisors whispered warnings, but she ignored them. She had seen the galaxy fall into chaos before, and she believed confidence, not fear, was the key. As night passed across the Vera system, human scouts moved closer to the alien patrols. Ships glided silently, scanning for weaknesses. The aliens remained unaware of the hidden observers. Every signal humans emitted was carefully controlled, every movement calculated. Humans had waited centuries for the right moment. Now, the moment was near. Aaron addressed his officers one last time before the fleet revealed itself. "Remember, humans are not monsters. We are not here to conquer for pleasure. We are here to remind the galaxy that we exist and that no one should underestimate us. Act with precision. Act with patience. Act as humans always have." The first contact began subtly. Small scouting vessels appeared near alien patrols, visible only for brief moments before disappearing again. The aliens were baffled. Their sensors flickered and their communications jammed. Panic spread quietly but not yet fully. Humans were giving the galaxy time to realize what was happening without firing a shot. Commander Thalek noticed a faint shadow in the sensors. "Report. What is that?" he barked. "We cannot identify it, sir," Marek replied. "It moves too fast. It appears and disappears." Thalek's scales paled slightly. He remembered the stories, the legends his ancestors had whispered. Humans were clever, unpredictable, and dangerous. "Do not engage," he ordered. "Observe and report. Do not underestimate them." But even as he spoke, Aaron's ships moved into more visible positions, still avoiding direct aggression. The human fleet's size and structure became clear to any careful observer. Alien crews who glimpsed the outlines of the battleships froze. They had never seen anything like them. Massive, sleek, and armed with systems beyond imagination, the ships seemed almost alive. In the human fleet, Jack Brady smiled as he monitored the alien reactions. "They are finally seeing us," he said. "They have no idea what they are looking at," Claire nodded. "Fear is starting. They don't know what to do. That's the first step." The horizon and the rest of the human fleet continued to watch, waiting for the aliens to make the first move. Humans had learned over centuries that the best defense was control. Controlling the situation without revealing true strength was key. The aliens thought they were in charge. Soon, they would learn otherwise. Far below in the neutral system, life continued as usual. But the presence of humans, even unseen, was already changing things. Alien patrols were distracted, cautious, and nervous. Colonies felt a strange sense of safety, though no one could explain why. Humans were not there to conquer them, yet their presence alone was enough to shift the balance of power. As the hours passed, tension built. Aaron walked across the bridge, his steps quiet but purposeful. "Prepare all crews for potential contact," he said. "But remember, we do not fire first. We are humans. We fight when necessary, but our first message is proof, not destruction." Claire glanced at the holographic map. "Captain, the aliens are starting to reposition. They are confused, but some of them are gathering near the inner planets. If they move too fast, conflict could start unintentionally." Aaron nodded. "Then we act subtly, show our presence, remind them who humans are, but avoid unnecessary conflict. Patience is our greatest weapon." As human scouts continued to move silently, the aliens debated their next steps. Some argued for immediate attack, while others urged caution. The Council's orders were unclear. No one had anticipated human ships returning. The galaxy had forgotten them, and that forgetfulness was now turning into fear. Suddenly, one of the alien patrols detected a full outline of a human battleship. The alarms blared, panic spread across the command deck. "It cannot be," an officer shouted. "Humans do not exist." "This is impossible," Commander Thalek's three eyes widened. "Prepare defensive positions," he ordered. "But do not engage fully. Observe first. Report everything to the Council." Meanwhile, Aaron observed quietly. Humans did not need to attack yet. Fear alone was a tool. He smiled faintly. Centuries of underestimation had brought the galaxy to this moment, and humans were ready. As the first human battleships fully revealed themselves near the outer system, alien crews froze. They had seen shadows before, glimpsed anomalies, but this was reality. Humans were no longer stories, myths, or legends. They were real, and they were dangerous. Humans had returned not with a shout but with a presence that demanded attention. The galaxy would never underestimate them again. The first contact had begun, and the future was about to change forever. The human fleet hung in the darkness near the outer system, massive ships moving silently like shadows in the void. Captain Aaron Cole stood on the bridge of the horizon, eyes fixed on the holographic map of alien patrols. Every dot, every movement was tracked carefully. Patience had brought them this far, but now the moment had come to make the first true impression. Lieutenant Claire Adams hovered near the control panel, scanning sensor data. "Captain," she said quietly, "the aliens are gathering near the inner planets. Some are trying to form a defensive line. They still don't know how many ships we have." Aaron nodded slowly. "Good. Let them wonder, let them fear. Humans do not attack blindly. We show power first. We strike only if necessary." Across the alien fleets, panic was growing. Commander Thalek barked orders to his officers, trying to control the chaos. "Scan everything. They cannot be this large. Report all anomalies immediately. The Council will want explanations." But it was too late. Alien sensors picked up full outlines of the human battleships. Hulking forms glimmered under starlight, sleek and covered in strange panels that distorted the light around them. Even the most confident officers froze. Humans were no longer myths or shadows, they were real. Aaron pressed a button and a calm voice filled the calm channels of the alien fleets. It was not threatening, but it carried authority. "We are humans," he said. "We have returned. We do not attack unless provoked. Remember us, for our patience has limits." The alien fleets responded with confusion. Some fired warning shots into empty space, unsure what to do. Others attempted to retreat, but the human ships anticipated every movement. Advanced sensors and predictive algorithms allowed them to remain one step ahead. On the bridge of one massive human battleship, engineer Jack Brady watched the data with quiet satisfaction. "They're panicking," he said. "Their formations are breaking. We haven't even fired yet." Claire glanced at the display. "We could disable them without even touching their ships if we wanted." Aaron's expression remained calm. "We do not destroy unless we must. Fear alone is enough for now. They will remember humans. That is our first message." The first skirmish began when a small alien fighter squadron attempted to probe the human fleet. They approached quickly, weapons ready, confident that a small attack would disrupt the humans. But the moment they came within range, human ships reacted instantly. Energy pulses surrounded the alien fighters, not destroying them, but disabling engines and weapons. The fighters drifted helplessly, caught in invisible fields that left crews confused and terrified. Communications jammed, sensors failed, and the pilots could only watch as humans demonstrated power without aggression. "Look at them," Jack said quietly. "They don't understand what just happened. They think we're ghosts." Claire smiled faintly. "They'll know soon enough. And they'll fear us." In the alien command fleet, Commander Thalak roared with frustration. "How is this possible? They are too advanced. They are not supposed to exist. Retreat. Gather reinforcements. We cannot fight them." But retreat was not easy. Human ships moved with precision, cutting off escape routes and anticipating every maneuver. The aliens were forced to scatter or risk capture. The demonstration of human power had begun without a single human casualty. Aaron watched the movement calmly. "Remember," he said to his officers, "our goal is to remind them humans are real. We do not need to destroy entire fleets. Precision, strategy, patience, that is what makes humans dangerous." On one of the human scout ships, pilot Luke Hayes guided his vessel near a group of alien warships. Using advanced stealth technology, he appeared and disappeared unpredictably, confusing the alien sensors further. Small bursts of energy temporarily disabled weapon systems, leaving the aliens disoriented. "They're not even trying to fight back properly," Luke said over comms. "It's like watching fish trapped in a net." Back on the horizon, Aaron nodded. "Exactly. Humans fight smart, not reckless. We take what we need without unnecessary loss. The galaxy will remember this day, and the lesson will stay with them." The alien fleets tried to regroup. Some attempted to form defensive lines around the inner planets of the neutral system. Others attempted to contact the Galactic Council for instructions. But communications were slow, jammed by the humans' advanced interference systems. Panic and confusion spread like wildfire. In one colony on a small moon, civilians watched strange lights in the sky. They could see massive shapes moving among the stars, shapes unlike anything recorded in history. Fear spread quickly, but there was also awe. These were humans, and humans were not supposed to exist. "What are they?" one trader whispered. "Are they here to destroy us?" In the human fleet, Aaron pressed another button. This time, the broadcast was more detailed, showing holographic images of human ships and fleets. "Humans do not fight without reason," his voice echoed across alien communications. "We defend, we survive, we protect. Remember this. Fear us if you wish, but do not mistake our patience for weakness." Alien officers stared at the messages, realizing their error. Humans were no longer myths, no longer extinct, no longer stories whispered to children. Humans were real, powerful, and organized. Commander Thalak ground his claws against the console in frustration. "We must attack. We cannot let them stay in this system. They are too strong." Aaron leaned back slightly. "Let them attack if they must. Every move they make, we predict. Humans have always survived because we think faster, act smarter, and adapt quicker. Let them show their weakness first." An alien warship fired a cautious shot at a human vessel, hoping to test the fleet. The humans responded instantly. An energy field enveloped the alien ship, disabling engines and weapons without harming the crew. The ship drifted helplessly, proving the humans' control over the situation. "They are learning the hard way," Jack Brady said. "Humans don't need to kill. Just showing power is enough." Claire studied the alien formations. "Their panic is spreading. They don't know where to go, what to do. The fleet is collapsing without a real fight." Aaron smiled faintly. "Exactly. We are showing them who humans are. History has underestimated us, and history will remember this day." The first full display of human power lasted hours. Alien fleets tried various tactics, but the humans anticipated everything. They showed restraint, precision, and intelligence. No planet was harmed, no innocent life was lost, yet the aliens were left in shock. On one small human ship, pilot Emily Foster guided her vessel near an alien cruiser. She used the stealth systems to create the illusion of multiple ships appearing and disappearing around the alien. The cruiser fired blindly, energy bolts missing their targets. "They are scared," Emily said, "and they don't even know why." Aaron's voice came over the fleet comms. "Humans fight to survive, humans fight to protect. Every species that has underestimated us has learned that the hard way. Now the galaxy will begin to remember." In the alien command fleet, panic became fear. Officers argued, shouted, and froze. They had underestimated humans for centuries. Now the cost of their ignorance was clear. Humans were not extinct, not weak, not myths. Humans were legends made real, and the galaxy could not ignore them. The first battle did not claim lives, but it sent a clear message. Humans were patient, calculated, and unstoppable when necessary. They had returned not to conquer, but to make the galaxy respect them. Aaron watched the aftermath quietly. The alien fleet scattered, uncertain and afraid. "Remember," he said, "humans do not need to destroy to prove power. Sometimes presence alone is enough." Claire smiled. "They will never forget this day. The stories will change now. Humans are not myths anymore. They are reality." Far away, on the neutral planets, colonies began to realize the truth. Humans were real, humans were powerful, and humans had arrived to remind the galaxy that no species should underestimate them. Aaron turned back to the stars, thinking of the centuries humans had survived, hidden, and waited. The first demonstration had been enough. Fear had spread, respect had begun, and humans had shown the galaxy their strength without unnecessary bloodshed. "Let history remember this," he said softly. "Humans are back, humans are real, and humans are not to be underestimated." As the human fleet moved silently through space, the galaxy began to change. Alien commanders debated, colonies whispered, and the council would soon have to acknowledge the return of a species thought extinct. Humans had struck without firing full weapons, without causing unnecessary destruction, but the message was clear. They were powerful, patient, and dangerous when necessary. For the first time in millennia, humans were not stories. They were reality. And the first battle, a silent display of power, had reminded the galaxy why legends should never be forgotten. The stars stretched endlessly around them, but the human fleet moved with quiet authority. Patience had led to power, restraint had led to fear, and intelligence had led to control. The galaxy had been reminded. Humans are not to be underestimated, and their return was only the beginning. And so, the first true display of human power ended, leaving the aliens shaken, the colonies in awe, and humans prepared for whatever came next. The lessons of patience, strategy, and intelligence had been taught without a single massive explosion. The galaxy would remember humans, and they would never be ignored again. The human fleet moved quietly through the outer system, their massive ships glinting under distant stars. Captain Aaron Cole stood on the bridge of the horizon, watching alien fleets scatter after the first demonstration of human power. The galaxy had begun to notice humans again. Patience had turned into control, and fear was spreading quietly among the alien commanders. Lieutenant Claire Adams studied the sensor readings carefully. "Captain," she said, "they're still trying to regroup, but they're hesitant. None of them are attacking aggressively. They know we are too powerful." Aaron nodded slowly. "Good. Hesitation is the first step toward respect. Humans do not need to destroy to show strength. They remember us now, and they will think twice before challenging humans again." On one of the larger human battleships, engineer Jack Brady checked systems and weapons. "We're ready for anything," he said. "Stealth shields are at full capacity, engines at maximum. We can defend, strike, or retreat without a problem." Aaron smiled faintly. "Humans always prepare. Preparation is part of survival." Meanwhile, the alien fleets were in chaos. Commander Thalek barked orders, but his officers were panicked. "We cannot fight them directly," he said. "They are too strong. Their ships appear and disappear. Their technology is beyond anything we know." "What are they?" One officer, Merrick, spoke quietly. "They are humans, sir. The legends are true. We thought humans were extinct. We thought they were myths, but they are real." Thalek's scales rippled nervously. He remembered the stories from his ancestors, tales of humans surviving impossible battles and outsmarting entire fleets. He had dismissed them before like everyone else. Now he realized he had been foolish. Humans were not gone. They had returned, and the galaxy was already changing. Aaron observed the alien confusion from the horizon's bridge. "Humans are not monsters," he said softly. "We do not attack without reason, but when threatened, humans fight with precision. Let them come to terms with that." The first contact with alien fleets had left a clear impression, but humans were not finished. The outer colonies were still vulnerable, and humans had returned to protect them. On a small neutral planet called Viridian, alien forces were preparing to attack, thinking the humans were too far to intervene. "We cannot let them harm innocent colonies," Aaron said. "Prepare defensive measures. Show presence. We protect, not conquer." Scouts from the human fleet moved quietly, positioning themselves around the neutral planet. Ships glided through asteroid fields, behind gas clouds, and around moons. No alien could detect the full size of the fleet. The humans were careful, patient, precise. Lieutenant Claire Adams monitored communications. "Captain," she said, "aliens are coordinating attacks on the colony. They think we are not here." "We can stop them before any damage is done," Aaron nodded. "Then we act carefully. No unnecessary harm. Humans defend, humans protect. That is our way." As alien ships approached Viridian, human energy fields formed invisible barriers around the colony. Alien weapons fired blindly, but the energy shields absorbed every strike without a single human ship firing. The aliens were confused, frustrated, and terrified. "Look at them," Jack Brady said quietly. "They don't understand what's happening." "We're not attacking, just defending, and they're already losing control," Claire smiled. "Fear spreads fast when power is silent. They don't know what humans are capable of." On the horizon, Aaron opened a communication channel to the alien fleet. His voice was calm but firm. "We are humans. We do not attack colonies. Leave them alone and no harm will come to your people. Test us, and you will see the cost of underestimating humans." The aliens hesitated. Commander Thalek's officers argued among themselves. Some wanted to retreat, others wanted to attack anyway. Panic was spreading across the fleet. Humans had returned, and their presence alone was changing the balance of power. In one small colony on Viridian, civilians looked up at the sky, seeing strange, massive shapes among the stars. Ships unlike anything recorded in history moved silently, protecting them. Fear and awe filled their hearts. They did not understand the humans fully, but they knew they were safe. Humans were watching, guarding, and ready. "Who are they?" a young boy whispered to his sister. "Humans," she replied softly. "The legends are real. They're protecting us." The humans continued to demonstrate control without unnecessary destruction. Scout ships moved near alien positions, showing advanced technology and precision. Small displays of power disabled weapons temporarily, leaving alien crews confused and helpless. Aaron observed quietly. Humans survive because we adapt. Humans protect because we care. That is what makes us dangerous. Respect comes from understanding, not fear alone. The alien fleets were forced to retreat from Veridian. Commander Thalak ordered his ships back to the outer regions of the system. His officers were shaken, some muttering that humans had returned to claim the galaxy. Aaron addressed his fleet. Humans fight when necessary, but we do not attack without cause. Our first demonstration is complete. Now we protect. Now we show the galaxy what humans truly are. Lieutenant Claire Adams studied the sensor readings. They will think twice before attacking again. The colonies are safe for now. Exactly, Aaron replied. Humans survive, humans protect, humans remember. The galaxy will not forget today. Meanwhile, alien leaders began to communicate with each other. Rumors of human fleets spread quickly. Some species debated whether to ally with humans, others plotted strategies to defend themselves. The Council could no longer ignore the return of a species thought extinct. On the horizon, Aaron reflected on the centuries humans had spent hiding, building, and preparing. Patience had led to power, preparation had led to control, and strategy had led to survival. Humans had returned not to conquer, but to remind the galaxy that they existed and that no species should underestimate them. Engineer Jack Brady checked systems again. Captain, everything is stable. Shields are strong, engines ready, weapons at standby. We can respond to any threat immediately, Aaron nodded. Good, humans always prepare. Preparation is part of survival. We defend, we protect, we survive. That is what makes humans powerful. In the neutral systems, colonies began to understand the human's role. Alien attacks had been prevented without unnecessary bloodshed. Humans had intervened, not to dominate, but to protect. Respect and fear began to spread side by side. Commander Thalak struggled to maintain control of his fleet. We cannot fight them, he admitted quietly to his officers. Humans are not myths, they are real, and they are too powerful. We must retreat and report this to the Council. The Council, far away, finally began to acknowledge the humans' return. Reports flooded in from all directions. Colonies safe, fleets scattered, rumors confirmed. The species that had dismissed humans as myths were now forced to take notice. Humans had returned, and the galaxy was already changing because of them. Aaron watched quietly from the horizon's bridge. Remember, he said to his officers, humans do not destroy unnecessarily. Humans fight when required, and humans survive because we are patient, prepared, and precise. Lieutenant Claire Adams smiled. They will never forget today. Humans are real, humans are back, and humans are not to be underestimated. The stars stretched endlessly around the fleet, but humans moved with quiet authority. Every action was calculated, every movement precise. Patience had led to control, and control had led to respect. The galaxy would remember this day. On one small planet, civilians told stories of the humans who protected them. They did not understand fully who humans were or what their plans might be. But they knew humans were powerful, humans were real, and humans had returned to ensure safety and justice. Aaron turned back to the stars, thinking of the future. The first demonstrations had been enough. Fear had spread, respect had begun, and humans had protected those who could not protect themselves. The galaxy had begun to change, and humans were at the center of that change. Let history remember, he said softly. Humans are not myths. Humans are real. Humans survive. Humans protect. Humans are back. The human fleet moved silently through space, its presence a constant reminder to every species. Patience had led to strategy, strategy had led to control, and control had led to survival. Humans had returned not to conquer, but to remind the galaxy that no species should underestimate them. And so, humans continued their silent watch over the neutral systems, ready to defend, ready to protect, ready to ensure that the mistakes of the past would not be repeated. The galaxy had learned a lesson. Humans are real, humans are powerful, and humans cannot be ignored. The stars shone above, endless and silent, as the human fleet moved onward, quietly, steadily, and with purpose. The galaxy would never be the same again. Humans had returned, and the first steps of their new legacy had already begun. The human fleet moved steadily through the galaxy, massive ships glinting under distant stars. Captain Aaron Cole stood on the bridge of the horizon, calm and focused. The aliens had retreated, colonies were safe, and the galaxy was beginning to take humans seriously. But Aaron knew that this was only the beginning. Humans had returned, and the galaxy would soon understand that their patience was matched only by their power. Lieutenant Claire Adams studied the holomap of nearby systems. "Captain," she said, "the Council is finally sending communications. They want explanations, and some fleets are trying to coordinate responses. They know humans are real now." Aaron nodded slowly. "Good. Let them try. The galaxy must see humans clearly. They must learn to respect us, not just fear rumors." Across the neutral systems, reports of humans' actions had spread quickly. Colonies were safe, alien attacks had been prevented, and stories of the human strength were reaching every planet. For centuries, humans had been myths, legends whispered in secret. Now, humans were real, visible, and undeniable. On the bridge of the horizon, engineer Jack Brady monitored fleet communications. "They're sending messages asking for parley," he said. "Some fleets are trying to negotiate. Others are preparing defenses. Everyone wants to understand what humans want." Aaron leaned back slightly. "Humans are not here to conquer. We are here to remind the galaxy that survival, protection, and strategy matter. The message must be clear. Underestimate humans and the cost will be high. Respect humans and coexistence is possible." Far away, Commander Thalak and his remaining fleet debated their next steps. "We cannot fight them," Thalak said finally. "They are too powerful. Even our largest ships cannot match them. We must communicate, negotiate, or retreat. Humans are not myths, they are reality." His officers nodded reluctantly. The fear that had spread through the fleets in the outer systems was now solidifying into respect. Humans had returned after centuries of absence, not as conquerors, but as forces to be reckoned with. Aaron ordered a broadcast to all nearby alien fleets and colonies. His voice was calm, steady, and authoritative. "We are humans. We have returned. We do not attack without reason, and we protect those who cannot protect themselves. The galaxy has ignored us for too long. Respect humans or face the consequences of underestimating us. Peace is possible, but humans will defend what is ours and what is just." The message spread quickly. Alien leaders debated among themselves, colonies whispered stories, and fleets paused, uncertain what to do. Humans were no longer myths. They were real, powerful, and organized. On one neutral planet, children looked up at the sky, seeing massive ships glinting in the distance. Civilians whispered among themselves, awe and fear mingling. For the first time in generations, humans had returned to protect and to remind everyone that they existed. "They're amazing," one child said. "They saved us." "Humans are real," another replied. "And they're strong." Back on the horizon, Aaron walked across the bridge, watching the stars. He thought of the centuries humans had survived, hidden, and prepared. Patience had led to power, and power had been shown through restraint. The first battles, the demonstrations, the protection of colonies, all of it had sent the same message. Humans are not to be ignored. Lieutenant Claire Adams looked up from her station. "Captain, some alien fleets are sending envoys. They want parley, they want treaties. They finally understand that humans cannot be underestimated." Aaron nodded. "Then let them come. Humans negotiate with respect and fairness. Humans fight when necessary. Now the galaxy will see both sides, strength and wisdom together." On one of the human battleships, Pilot Luke Hayes prepared for a demonstration flight. He flew his scout ship near an alien cruiser, moving unpredictably, showing the advanced maneuverability and technology of human ships. Alien crews watched in awe and fear. Humans had returned and the difference was clear. "They don't know what to do," Luke said over comms. "They've never seen anything like this." "Good," Aaron replied. "Let them understand. Humans are here to protect and to survive. They must see it clearly." In the Galactic Council chambers, alien leaders argued over what to do. For centuries, humans had been forgotten, dismissed, and considered myths. Now humans were real, their fleets powerful, and their message clear. Respect was no longer optional. Admiral Laura Bennett spoke first. "We underestimated them, we dismissed them. Now they are here and we have no choice but to negotiate. Their power is undeniable." Older advisors nodded. "They have survived centuries in hiding. They have prepared. They act with intelligence and patience. Humans are more than we ever imagined." The Council finally sent official envoys to the human fleet. Aaron received them calmly. "Humans are not conquerors," he said as he addressed the envoys. "Humans fight to survive. Humans protect those who cannot protect themselves. The galaxy has ignored us for too long. Respect humans and peace is possible. Fail to respect us, and the consequences will be your responsibility." The envoys listened carefully. For the first time, they realized the humans they had considered myths were real, organized, and unyielding. The balance of power in the galaxy was changing. On the horizon, Aaron spoke quietly to his officers. "Humans have returned not to dominate but to remind the galaxy that patience, preparation, and strategy matter. Humans survive because we are careful, precise, and strong. We protect, we negotiate, we fight when necessary. This is our way." Lieutenant Claire Adams nodded. "They will never forget today. Humans are back, humans are real, and humans will not be underestimated again." In the outer systems, alien fleets slowly withdrew, realizing their mistakes. Colonies were safe, fleets were scattered, and the Council began to acknowledge the humans' return. Humans had changed the galaxy without unnecessary bloodshed. On one small planet, civilians told stories of the humans who had saved them. The legends were no longer myths. Humans were real, powerful, and protective. Children looked up at the sky, inspired, knowing that humans had returned to ensure survival and justice. Aaron observed quietly from the bridge. Centuries of planning, patience, and preparation had led to this moment. Humans had returned not to conquer, but to show the galaxy their strength, their wisdom, and their power. Respect had been earned, fear had spread, and humans were now remembered as they should have been all along. Engineer Jack Brady checked the systems one last time. "Everything is stable, Captain. The fleet is ready for any situation. We can defend, strike, or negotiate as needed." Aaron smiled faintly. "Good. Humans survive, humans protect, humans remember. The galaxy will never underestimate humans again. Our work is done for now." The stars stretched endlessly around the fleet, silent witnesses to the humans' return. Humans had proven that myths could become reality, that patience could become power, and that intelligence and strategy could change the balance of the galaxy. In the council chambers, alien leaders finally began to acknowledge the humans' presence. Treaties were proposed, fleets were reorganized, and respect was established. Humans were no longer stories. They were real, powerful, and permanent players in the galaxy. Aaron turned back to the stars, thinking of the future. Humans had returned quietly, carefully, and with purpose. The galaxy would remember today forever. Humans had demonstrated their strength, protected the innocent, and earned respect without unnecessary bloodshed. "Let history remember," he said softly. "Humans are not myths. Humans are real. Humans survive. Humans protect. Humans are back, and the galaxy will never forget it." Lieutenant Claire Adams looked out the observation window. "Captain, humans will be remembered for centuries." Our patience, our preparation, and our strength have made the difference. Humans are back. Aaron nodded. Exactly. Humans are real, humans are powerful, and humans will never be ignored again. The galaxy has changed, and humans are at the center of that change. Across the galaxy, the story spread. Humans had returned, humans had protected the innocent, and humans had shown their power without unnecessary destruction. Fear, respect, and admiration grew among species who had once dismissed them. In the end, humans were no longer forgotten. Humans were no longer myths. Humans were reality, and the galaxy would never underestimate them again. The human fleet continued to move silently through space, prepared for any challenge, ready to defend, and determined to ensure that the mistakes of the past would not be repeated. Patience had led to power, restraint had led to respect, and humans had proven that intelligence, courage, and strategy were as deadly as any weapon. And so, the legend of humans became real. Humans survived, humans protected, and humans returned to remind the galaxy that no species should ever underestimate them. The stars stretched endlessly, but humans moved steadily, calmly, and with purpose. The galaxy had changed forever. The humans were back. The legends were alive, and the future belonged to those who remembered that humans are real, humans are powerful, and humans are not to be ignored.